It's great to see someone attending to important issues that others may want to kind of pretend aren't even there, may want to overlook in this entertaining, poll-tested, issue-oriented world of presidential politics.
Lucy has autism. She doesn't speak, she doesn't walk, but not being able to speak is not the same as not having anything to say. People with disabilities, they want to have freedom, just like anybody else.
The barriers right now on people rising up is the great challenge of our time. So many people could do so much better if we fixed a few things. My core beliefs start with the premise that the most vulnerable in our society should be in the front of the line, not the back. And as governor, I had a chance to act on that core belief.
He really cares about us. He really cares about people with developmental disabilities and with all disabilities. There are people today that are getting services because of what Jeb did. He doesn't do it for himself. He does it because he's a true servant. He is the best voice that we can have.
A public servant. Florida's former governor has really made a difference in the lives of those who face more challenges than most. And he is sincere in this. He's taking up a cause not as perhaps exciting, electrifying as a media-craving ratings show wants, but it shows the man's heart, though, and his priorities and his intentions for our great nation. We're honored that joining us, GOP presidential candidate who has given so much personally and with successful efforts in policy to Americans who struggle, doing right by a community that deserves a voice. Governor Jeb Bush, truly, it's an honor, sir.
Thank you, Sarah, and I appreciate your steadfast support for those with different abilities. My commitment to this started in 1998 as a candidate where I ran into people over and over again and they said, my biggest fear is whether or not I'm going to outlive my child. If you think about it from that perspective, you just go, oh my goodness. I mean, that's a place where the government needs to play a role to take care of families that are struggling to be able to love their children with their heart and soul. They become adults, and we need to continue that. And in the case of Florida, wow, the federal judge was about ready to take over that program. In the first week of my office time, I went to the courthouse and said, please, let us redesign the program, let us fund it, let us make sure that we can eliminate the waiting list. And we did all that, and I was really proud of it.
It's amazing, all that background work that has to be done, that you accomplished in order to fulfill that mission of helping the community that, as I say, needs a voice and deserves respect. So you're on top of security and economic issues, of course, but you're also talking about these issues that we just prefaced, and issues like education, issues that result in things that we can do to help improve lives, and truly government's proper role in doing that. Has it been tough to engage other candidates, though, and the media in issues that aren't easily captured in the 10-second sound bites?
Yeah, I think you got to show who you are, and I'm informed by my faith on these issues, and I have a reformer's heart, too. I have a zeal for reform. There are a lot of things that government does that are broken. I mean, our education system is a good example of that. But if you have programs for the developmentally disabled that aren't working, I think we have a duty to fix them. It's not necessarily spending more money, but empowering people to be able to live lives of dignity and respect. That should be a very powerful conservative value, and I share that belief. And so whether it's popular or not in the here and now, I really don't care, to be honest with you. I think part of it is just to share the joy of service and the belief that you can help people and you can do it in a more effective way.
Yeah, so as president, how would one affect issues that speak to the foundation of culture? Because as I say, as I'm suggesting, a lot of people, they don't want to go there. You know, it's too sensitive or too controversial for some reason. How does a very busy president prioritize for this, though, besides maybe a fewer rounds of golf?
Well, I think basically you have to start with the premise that life is a gift from God, and you need to express it openly in a way that people can understand, and that life in every form is precious and needs to be protected from the beginning to the end. And I just believe that in my heart, and I think Americans believe that as well, and they can be inspired by that. It's not a question of another 5-point plan, another government program. It's simply a question of realizing that we've lost some of our belief that life is precious. And the minute we do that, whether it's the Planned Parenthood issues that are just grotesque or end of life issues, everything else becomes hurt as well. I think it's the full package that we need to embrace. And people in public life, I think, every right. In fact, I think they have a duty to express that core value.
Well, out of everyone, I think it is you who is able to convey that very sincere message that your heart is in it. It's not for political reasons. And I hope that we get to hear and read more about that in this newfangled ebook that you have coming out. I find this very interesting, called Reply All, and I understand that you're going to release a few emails, and what to me that says is you will quite transparently codify your time in public service. That's in contrast to Hillary's hidden email scandal. Tell us about the book.
Well, when I started my governorship, I gave out my email address, jeb@jeb.org. People can, in fact, I guess right now people will email me, and the idea was to serve. If people had a problem, I became their advocate to cut through the bureaucracy. And I tried to change the culture in Washington, in Tallahassee and in Florida by being transparent. And so we probably had, 500,000 emails. And from that came a book. It's an ebook about my service through the emails. And it's part fun, it's part emotional, it's part giving people a sense. Not everybody agreed with me, believe it or not, Sarah. And, I let them let me have it, and I used good humor. I showed respect, and I think the cumulative effect of the 8 chapters, effectively as a chapter for every year, gives a sense of the all-in nature of my service as governor. And it does compare dramatically different than the Hillary world, where she had a private email, secret. She didn't tell anybody about it. She didn't provide all the information, and you can get my emails through public records requests, and I'm writing a book about it. To get her emails, you need a subpoena.
Yeah, and that really reflects two different worldviews and the definition of transparency, the definition of public service. So that is greatly appreciated. You must have a very understanding wife for you to have time to answer emails, because I know even today you're answering emails.
Yeah, my wife is a saint, and we've been married 41 years, and it probably added 30 hours to my work week when I was governor. And she got frustrated from time to time, but she knew it was important. She saw the benefits of it. To this day, I was on talk radio in Birmingham, Alabama this week, and a guy said, "You know what? You don't know this, you won't remember this, but I tried to transfer my credits from a community college to the University of Florida. I got half of them transferred, not all of them. I wouldn't have been able to stay in school unless all of them were transferred. You emailed me, and the Department of Education responded in 3 days, and all of my credits were granted, and it changed my life." That is more important to me, the chance to serve and to fix things, than about anything else. And so she saw the benefits of that, and she was very kind and generous to let me do it.
Well, you are certainly a team, a strong team, and that's what is needed, and certainly you're a good example for others across our great nation. So, Governor Bush, I thank you so much for taking precious time out of your day to share with us, and can't wait for that book. I hope that you do talk specifically about other examples, maybe specific emails that have really changed your life and led to change policy that helps other people.
Absolutely. It'll come out on October 30th. It's on Amazon. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to people reading it. And I appreciate being on your show.
Thank you so much. Okay, get out there and let people know what you're up to and what your intentions are. Still ahead.